What's up, techies? I've got some OtterBox cases for the Galaxy S7 Edge. Let's go ahead and take a look at them. First of all, I want to say thank you to OtterBox for sending these out to me. I deeply appreciate it. I've enjoyed reviewing their cases for previous phones, so I can't wait to do some more for future phones. So you definitely want to subscribe to the channel so you can see those videos when they come out. But for now, let's talk about the Galaxy S7 Edge, and I must say I've been really enjoying this case. First up, let's take a look at the Symmetry case. This is black. It's actually just my go-to color for OtterBox. There's some really cool color options that you could choose from, but I just really like black. It's got the characteristics that I look for in a case, which is actually kind of thin and minimal, but protective. Like, I need it to be protective. That's the reason why I have a case. Being that this is the Galaxy S7 Edge, it doesn't interfere with the Edge features, so that's really good to me. I was kind of concerned to see what kind of cases these companies come up with, and OtterBox has done a really good job with leaving the features accessible. I was kind of concerned about it. I don't know why. I've never really had an Edge. I have the Note 4 Edge, but the cases that it made really left this part bare. And this has a button on the side, so it still has button covers and all that, but you're still able to get to the Edge features, so you're still able to swipe through all those kind of little features that you can use with the Galaxy S7 Edge. Overall look and design, there's not too much different, except for the Edge kind of forces OtterBox to kind of rethink their design a little bit just because of the Edge glass that it has. It's not only just about the Edge features, but you have the whole glass area to worry about. So let me take this off for just a second so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. These companies have to spend a little extra attention to detail just because there's such a thin edge right here, because the glass, not only the front is curved, but the back is curved out a little bit too. So you have this really thin line to work with, but the case fits perfectly. There's no issues with it at all. It's rather simple to install, and with that being said, it still feels really secure. I just kind of work on the edges and it kind of just falls in place. One little trick that I do with these cases is that I use my fingernail and I just kind of press it on the end of it right here. And that kind of helps it fall in place more with the button to be able to fit into the button hole if it's not already there. And I kind of do that for each one. It just helps with that click and also just make it help feel as tactile as possible. And as you know, if you follow my channel, if you don't know, I'm a big stickler on how a button feels when I press it. Now, it's not necessarily a tactile feel, but I can feel the press. And it feels good. You have to put a little extra effort into it as if the button cover wasn't there, but it doesn't hinder the use of the product. Like, I'm still able to use the volume rocker just fine. Like I said, you gotta do a little bit more press than normal, as if it wasn't there. It's not gonna make me feel like I'm not gonna use the case. It's really a deal breaker to me if the buttons are hard to press. If they're hard to press, I'm not gonna use the case. OtterBox has done a good job with their cutout here. It leaves plenty of space to use the fingerprint sensor here for your heart rate and all the health features that the Galaxy S7 has. But you also have a nice cutout for your camera and LED light. There's no interference at all with using the home button. There's plenty of space for the USB jack and also the headphone jack. It's a nice generous cutout. And I like that because I use an auxiliary cord in my car. Now, it's not the thinnest accessory, but it's also kind of like on the medium edge. So it fits in here just fine. There's been no issues using it at all. Let me just show you around the case just a little bit more before we move on to the next case. And it's pretty good. Like, it's going to give you really good protection. That's one of the main things about OtterBox. You're going to get great drop protection. If you drop it on the corners, it's going to be good because that has nice reinforced corners here. Along with the back, it's a nice hard shell on the back, and then you have like this really nice tough TPU material that's on the inside. So this has been my go-to case since I've got the Galaxy S7 Edge. I've really enjoyed using this case. I definitely recommend it. Let me go ahead and show you the other ones. Now, this is actually a Symmetry case as well, but they have some nice graphic designs on them. There's a few different options that you can choose from. I actually don't mind this one. It's not something I normally would pick out, but it hasn't bothered me and I don't mind using it. I used it for the first few hours, but then I switched over just to the plain black just to try it out. It's the same case, and you can kind of see the same designs that's on the inside, and it's pretty nice. I like it. I'll leave a link down below where you can pick out the different patterns that you can choose from. Next up is the Commuter, and this has been my go-to style or series case made by OtterBox. I've always appreciated the Commuter case over the Defender. The Defender's great protection, but the thing is I'm not big on that built-in screen protector. I'll use it if I have to, but I typically like to put a tempered glass screen protector on the phone and then have something like the Commuter OtterBox for a case. The Commuter OtterBox is a step above, as far as protection goes, above the Symmetry case. This time you're actually going to take out the silicone material, which is more like a TPU material. And that's one of the things I do appreciate about what they've done is they've toughened up the silicone over the years. It used to be really flimsy, lens magnet, all the above. I never liked that part about it, but I've always appreciated it being on the inside versus the outside. And that's one of the reasons why I like the Commuter is because it's pocketable. And that's another good feature about the Symmetry case is that because it's got the harder shell on the outside, it helps slide in and out of your pocket with ease. Let me show you how to install it real quick. And you just kind of just fold over the edges. Make sure it's nice and snug. Make sure all the ports are in their respective areas. And then you're going to proceed to the outer shell. And what I normally like to do is start where the most commotion is going on. And that's going to be at the bottom because you get all those flaps right there. And just kind of get it where it's supposed to go. You don't have to get it tight or anything at that moment. But then come over to the top and just fold over the top edge. And this is where you kind of just massage everything else in place. And the same thing goes for these buttons. I like to get my fingernail and just kind of press them in place. It just kind of helps get them where they need to go. And usually the bottom is the trickiest. You kind of have to work around it. Get your fingernail, dig up underneath it, and kind of pinch it out a little bit. And then you also want to get the flaps and unflap them because that'll help get them all in place as well. Alright, so one of the things that I'm actually noticing that I like about this more than the Symmetry case is that the buttons actually feel more tactile on the Commuter case. So that's actually kind of interesting to me because it's a thicker case, but it feels more tactile. But some of the benefits that you're going to get with this is that you get port covers here, and that's going to help protect this from getting any kind of dust or dirt, lint, or anything like that inside the charging port or the headphone jack. Now this ain't a bad option. It's still relatively thin for a rugged protective case. You're going to get nice lip protection, nice corner protection. Of course, the back is going to be protected. And as I mentioned, you got the hard outer shell. Cutout's pretty similar to what the Symmetry case is like. Not too much different there. Just got a little different design. It's a thicker material and it's a lot more rugged. And as I mentioned, this thing actually feels pretty good with the buttons. They press a little bit better than the Symmetry case. OtterBox is offering some really good protective options for your Galaxy S7 Edge. I really like these cases. It's really a tie between which one I like the most. I start to say that I like the Commuter more just because of how the buttons feel. They feel a little bit better than the Symmetry cases, but I like how the Symmetry case is just a tad bit smaller. It's hard to say which one I like more. What can I say? They're both really good cases. I'll leave links down below where you can pick one up for yourself. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel so you can see more S7 Edge videos coming out really soon. That's going to be accessories, how-to guides, my opinion about reviews, all the above. You're not going to want to miss those videos. So make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't. And guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. If it was helpful to you, leave a comment down below. And until then, stay techie.